Hello everyone, my name is Rebecca. Let's talk about makeup. Today we are going to look at my empties for the month of May, as well as a few declutters. So basically everything that has left my collection for one reason or another over the last month or so. Okay, we have kind of a decent spread of stuff. I've got some hair care, I've got some skincare. I've actually got a fair number of makeup empties, kind of an unusual number of makeup empties, I think, for this last month. So let's just dive in. We'll start with the hair care. I've only got two of these. This is my Joico Joyful Volumizing Conditioner. I really like this conditioner. I purchased it in January. I had been on the hunt for a new conditioner that wouldn't weigh down my hair in this new environment I'm living in that has very mineral heavy water. I was finding all of my go-to conditioners to be a little bit too heavy in my hair and just kind of weighing my hair down to the point where a couple of days after styling, it would start to feel really heavy and greasy. And so I switched to this conditioner and that really solved that problem for me. I really do like this conditioner. I don't think I'm going to run out and repurchase it just yet because I'm trying to work through a couple of other products that I have in my shower right now. But I really did like this, and I will most likely purchase a full size, like one of the big jumbo sizes. I picked this up at TJ Maxx, and I see various Joico shampoo conditioner products there fairly often. So I'm going to keep my eyes peeled and see if I can find a jumbo size at TJ Maxx. Then I also did a fair amount of traveling in the month of May, and I took this with me. This is a little 100 ml size of the Pantene Pro-V Daily Moisture Renewal Shampoo. I like Pantene. I've used it on and off since I was a teenager. I know some people say Pantene, call it Pantene, but I call it Pantene simply because in the 90s, when I saw their commercials on TV all the time, they called it Pantene, so I call it Pantene. Anyway, yeah, I liked it. This is a perfectly decent, serviceable shampoo. Worked out well. All right, so those are my two hair care products. I've got a little bit of skincare here. The first one is my Mad Hippie Vitamin C Serum. I've been working on this for a couple of months. I had this rolled into my 50 Shades of Brown. So yeah, this is done. I have been using vitamin C for years now. I usually use the Dr. Brenner's vitamin C. There are some drawbacks to that one. It's very, very liquidy, and so it's a little tricky to apply. It's not as comfortable to apply as this. This has a lot more viscosity in it, so it's a lot more comfortable to apply. But I don't feel like it was quite as effective as the Dr. Brenner's vitamin C. I didn't see as many of the positive benefits of using a vitamin C serum with this one. The one upside to this was that I could apply it to my neck and chest, which are generally speaking a little bit too sensitive for the Dr. Brenner's vitamin C, but did not react to this. So that was nice. However, I don't think I will repurchase. I recently picked up a little tub of the Ordinary L-ascorbic acid powder, so I can make my own little vitamin C concoctions with my own skincare. And that way I can use something with a little bit lower concentration, a little bit more buffering on my neck and my chest, and then something a little bit more heavy duty on my face. So this is done. It was fine. Probably will not repurchase. I also completed this serum. This is the Ordinary Niacinamide 10% and Zinc 1%. Yeah, I bought this a while back. Everybody was just raving about niacinamide and how it just changed their skin. It started being kind of the it product. You know how hyaluronic acid was the it product there for a while, and it was just in everything. It still kind of feels like it's in everything, but I feel like niacinamide has been having its moment for a little while. And so yeah, I tried it out, and niacinamide, I don't feel like it does anything for me at all. I feel like, it was fine. It didn't it didn't hurt my skin, but I really don't feel like I noticed any positive benefits from this niacinamide or any other form of niacinamide I've used. I don't know. I feel like my skin just could take it or leave it, So this is done. Will not repurchase. And the last skincare adjacent thing I have is this little package of dermaplaners from Kitsch. I think you can pick these up at Ulta, but I picked this package up at TJ Maxx. I think I got it for $8.99, so it's a few dollars cheaper than you can get it at Ulta. And yeah, these are good. I like these. These never accidentally scratch me, which occasionally the Tinkle razors or various other knockoffs will occasionally leave with a tooth at the very top of the comb or the top of the razor or the very top bottom of the razor right next to the plastic. Sometimes that tooth will scratch me, and I have not experienced that with these, so I enjoy that. I do feel like these dermaplaning razors, I feel like they can help my makeup go on a little bit more smoothly. I feel like it can take care of some surface congestion sometimes on my face. However, I do have a fair amount of scarring just from a lifetime of acne-prone skin, some kind of deep pitting here in this area. And I have found that when I remove all of the peach fuzz, I find that scarring is a little bit more apparent. I almost feel like the vellus hair on my face kind of blurs those imperfections and kind of blurs that texture. And so it's a little bit of a trade-off for me. I still do enjoy doing it occasionally, but it's not an everyday thing for me. Next, this isn't really skincare. Well, I guess it's kind of hair care. This is a little bottle of lash primer. I use this on my natural lashes before applying my little under the lash DIY extension clusters. This is actually a full bottle. This is my replacement bottle, and that's because the empty bottle that I had on my vanity, my son snatched it, and I don't know where he put it. I'll find it eventually, but this is the replacement. So I have an empty bottle of this floating around somewhere, and this is the one that I have purchased to replace it. So yeah, I have the replacement on the go already. This just removes protein and oils off of your lashes and just helps with the longevity of your lash clusters. So I really enjoy this. I think it works well. Okay, I actually completed a fair amount of makeup this last month. I was a little surprised. I have 2 lip products. Very unusual for me. First, this is my ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Champagne Mommy. I've been working on this since the beginning of the year in various projects. It's been in my color pan. It's been in my lip service, and we are finally done. I even went in there with a spatula and scraped as much out of it as I could. As far as repurchasing, I have another Ultra Glossy Lip that I am still working on. I'm almost there with that one as well. Once those 2 are gone, I don't think I will repurchase another gloss from ColourPop. I just find this to be a very basic gloss, which, I mean, it's very affordable as well, and so I feel like there's a place in the world for a very basic gloss, but I don't know, it doesn't really do anything. I don't really have any beef with it, except for maybe I don't care for the brush tip. I would take a doe foot over a brush tip pretty much any day of the week, but that's a very small ding against it. I just have so many other lip gloss formulas that I enjoy so much more. I don't think that I would feel compelled to repurchase this unless it was just in a really unique color. So yeah, I don't see myself grabbing another one of these in the future. I also completed, this is my Clinique Chubby Stick in the shade Black Honey. Now this is not normally a shade that you can get these chubby sticks in. This was a holiday release. It came in a little 2-pack. I gave one to my friend and I kept this one. And this turned out to be my favorite formula for Black Honey from Clinique. I really enjoy their Almost lipstick, the original Almost lipstick, but I love the color. I find it very flattering all year round. However, I do find the Almost lipstick, despite it being kind of a more sheer balmy formula, I find it very drying, especially with repeated use. I don't find that to be the case with this chubby stick, so I am actually quite sad. I'm quite sad that I am done. I actually even went in and dug everything out of here that I could get out, and I am sad that it's gone. I don't know that I've really paid attention to the Clinique holiday releases over the last couple of years, but if this pops up again, I would absolutely grab another one because I really enjoy the Black Honey color, and this is my favorite formulation of that. I also completed another complexion product. This is 2 this year. I'm very proud of myself. This is my It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Cream. I cut it open, scraped everything out. I actually really like this product. This is my 2nd tube of it. This is in the shade Light. However, I don't think, despite the fact that I do enjoy it, I don't think I will be buying a 3rd tube. And that is simply because since I purchased this 2nd tube, I discovered the Misha CC Cream, which I finished earlier this year, and the Purito BB Creams, which I am working on completing this year as well. And I feel like those two BB creams, I feel like they perform the same function as the Ordinary. I feel like the Misha is a little bit closer than the Purito is. I just think that they do it better. I feel like as good as this is, the Misha BB cream is better. I do feel like sometimes, depending on how you apply this and how much you apply, it can look a little heavy on the skin. And I never found that to be the case with the Misha BB cream or the Purito BB cream. Additionally, neither Korean BB creams or IT Cosmetics are known for their stellar shade ranges. However, I do find that the slightly grayer cast of the Misha and the Purito suit my skin better than the more saturated tones of the IT Cosmetics. So I enjoyed it. Probably will not purchase again. It also helps that the Misha and the Purito are both significantly less expensive than the IT Cosmetics. All right, last here I have this. This is my Danessa Myricks Yummy. Instead of making it up, maybe I should read it. This is the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in the shade Universal. I scraped the rest of it out and I put a little container and took it with me traveling. It is all gone now. And I am sad because this is my absolute number one go-to oil control primer for the summer when my oil production is just like at peak levels. These two actually right here, this is the best oil control combo I have ever come across in my entire life. This blurring balm and then this Honest Beauty Invisible Blurring Loose Powder. Beautiful together. If oil control is something that you are after, I would highly recommend looking into the two of those things. Now, the reason my primers are on a low buy instead of a no buy is specifically so I can repurchase this particular primer. However, I have another primer that I think I'm going to try to finish before I buy another one of the Danessa Myricks. This is my Rimmel Stay Matte makeup primer. This is a really good one. This was my go-to before I found the Danessa Myricks. I do find the Danessa Myricks is a little bit more effective, but I'm going to see what I can do to, I think this is my second tube of this. Really enjoyed this before it got bumped off the pedestal by the Danessa Myricks. However, obviously, this is significantly less expensive, and I have it in my collection already. So I'm going to go ahead and try to finish this before I pick up another one of the Danessa Myricks. Here's what I'm hoping is that I can hold out until I really should have picked up another one of these up during the VIB sale, just to get a little money off of it. But I did not, foolishly. So I'm hoping I can hold out until the fall VIB sale. I don't know if I can. Listen, at any point, I may just break down and buy another one of these because I really, really do enjoy that. So I'm going to give this a try and try not to repurchase this immediately, but I make no promises. All right, I have a few things left here that are from my Turn and Burn. This is the First Aid Beauty Pores Be Gone matte primer with fig extract. So listen, I got a couple of uses out of this and probably, I could have gotten another use out of it. However, both of the times that I use this, I have been acne prone my entire life, but over the last 3 or 4 years, I feel like I've finally aged out of that. It must be a hormonal thing, but I very rarely have to deal with breakouts anymore, which is glorious. One of the best things about getting to the age that I'm at is not having to deal with that constantly anymore. However, both of the times that I used this, I woke up the next morning with a new pimple. So I'm pretty sure that this was breaking me out. That happens very rarely. I can think of 3 times in my life that a product has broken me out, and 2 of those 3 times it was a First Aid Beauty product. So I think not only am I not going to squeeze the last out of this foil packet, I'm not trying any more First Aid Beauty. I don't need that in my life. So we're just considering that one done. Then I also used up this Agatha Paris Rose Blanc Rose Cream. It was very nice and hydrating. It was not super, super duper rich, so it is something I feel like I could use as a night cream during the summer without completely overhydrating my skin. I really did enjoy it. It has a very gentle rose fragrance, nothing overpowering. Really enjoyed it and would consider buying a full size. Then I also finished this sample card of the Lisa Eldridge Seamless Skin Foundation. This is the Light Medium Set 2. I do think that this one is a little bit better for my summer skin than the last set that I tried. I really, really enjoy this foundation. Really enjoy it. This really reminds me of my Dior Backstage foundation, which is one of my favorite foundations of all time, with the exception being I feel like this is even more lightweight and even more traceless on the skin. When applied, when you apply a really thin layer, I feel like you can't see makeup on your face. It still has decent coverage. It looks like your skin is just better than it is. And I love that look. So I still have the Dior Face and Body. I have about half of a bottle of it left in my drawer. So I don't think it makes sense for me to run out and buy one of these now, simply because they're so similar. But once I run out of the Backstage, I almost certainly will be buying a full size of Lisa Eldridge, because I just really, really enjoyed that. Then I have this. This is not actually a Sephora makeup setting spray. This was actually a tiny little mini of the CosRX, not CosRX, Cover FX. I had a little deluxe size of the Cover FX setting spray, but the sprayer on it was it was terrible. It was awful. It was just like camel spit. So I actually decanted it into this empty Sephora setting spray bottle and used it from here. I really enjoyed it. This was a very good setting spray. I would say it was up there on par with Urban Decay All Nighter. I didn't try them side by side, so I'm not sure which one would edge out the other, but I really did feel like it offered a lot of longevity to my makeup, a lot more than I generally require from my makeup setting spray. The Sephora setting spray is my everyday makeup setting spray, and I don't feel like it's quite as heavy duty as either the Cover FX or the Urban Decay, but I generally don't need something that is quite that heavy duty. However, I did enjoy the Cover FX while I used it. I thought it did an excellent job. If I could get a good deal on it, I would definitely consider picking up the Cover FX, because it was really nice. And last, I have this little bitty baby version of the Sunday Riley Good Genes lactic acid treatment. I really love acids. I feel like my skin responds really well to acids, and I really did enjoy this. However, it is just lactic acid, and there's just no way on earth. It's a beautiful formulation of lactic acid. It's very pleasant to apply. It was a nice part of my routine, but I don't think that I could pay Sunday Riley prices for lactic acid when I can spend less than $10 for the one that comes from The Ordinary or from the Inky List. I don't know if I can justify it. While the Ordinary and the Inky List lactic acids are definitely less elegant formulations than this one is, I don't know if I could pay that enormous price tag for something that just feels a little bit better going on. Does that make sense? Anyway, I enjoyed it. Almost certainly would not purchase a full size. Okay, those were my empties. I do have a few declutters to share with you. I have a number of things that I decluttered to a friend when she visited back in April, but I forgot to include them in my April roundup, so I thought I would mention them today. And I gave these to my friend, so I don't have them here to show them to you, but if I can find either a clip from my inventory series or a product photo or whatever, I'll put it up here so you can see what I am talking about. So first up, 2 eyeshadow palettes from Too Faced. One was the chocolate bar palette, which I think I used it in a deck of panning earlier this year, and I came to the conclusion that while it was a nice palette and it had some unique shades in it that I really did enjoy. Actually, I enjoy every single individual shade in there. It's when they all came together that I really felt underwhelmed. And I came to the conclusion that it really just does not suit the way that I prefer to do my eye makeup. So I decluttered both the chocolate bar and the sweet peach palette, which I felt much the same about the sweet peach palette, and I passed both of those on to my friend, who I really think it's going to suit the way she does her makeup a lot more, and I think she's going to enjoy it more and get better use out of it than I was. I also passed on to her my Stila Lip and Cheek duo in the shade Lilium. This was actually a really pretty duo. I enjoyed the shade. It was just a very soft, neutral, very subtle blush, and I am kind of in my blush era right now where I am craving a blush that's a little bit more present on the cheeks, if that makes sense. But I really felt like this blush in particular would suit my friend, so I passed that on to her. I also passed on to her a little, I had 2 AOA Studio I Heart Dew blushes. These are little gel stains, basically. Very pretty colors. I have one here in the shade Dolly that I've actually made a fair amount of progress on, and I passed on to her the one that I had not yet opened, which was in the shade Cutie Pie. I have The same problem with the I Heart Dew that I did with the Lilium, which is very sheer and subtle on the cheek, and I had to do a lot of layering up to get the level of color that I wanted, but I felt like it would better suit my friend who prefers a much more subtle, natural looking blush. I also passed on to her the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I just had a little mini size. I actually think I included it in my 24 and 24, but just on a whim, I included it in my little gift bag to her. I really did like the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I just think I like the e.l.f. Halo Glow just a little bit better. So I went ahead and passed that one on to my friend. I also believe, now Lydia, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong. I think I passed on to her one of my Stila Shimmer and Glows in the shade Grace. I had 3 of them, and I can find Kitten Karma and Cloud are still in my drawer, but Grace is, I made the mistake. Here's the thing is I made the mistake of not writing down on the day that I went through my drawers and found goodies for her. I didn't write it down on the day. So I'm kind of guessing here. And I think that I've passed on my Shimmer and Glow in the shade Grace to my friend. I think that's all of the things that I passed on to her. Again, Lydia, you're going to have to correct me if I've missed anything, but those are the things that I remember that I passed on to her back in April. And then I also have one declutter from the month of May, and this is my Stila Shimmer and Glow in the shade Vivid Labradorite. I actually pulled this for my deck of panning, and oh my goodness, was it a struggle. It was a struggle. As of my last update for deck of panning, I had not yet finished all of my uses. I have now finished all of my uses, but this has got to go. I struggled so hard to find a way that this was useful to me in my makeup routine in any way. I was not satisfied with it as a base. I was not satisfied with it as a one and done all over the lid color. I did not enjoy it as an eyeliner. I used it for some inner corner definition. I think that was the most successful way for me to use it, but at the same time, it was performing a function I didn't really feel like I needed. I was just trying to find some way to use it. It wasn't really adding anything to my makeup experience or the result of my makeup that I really felt was necessary. And because of that, I think I'm going to go ahead and let this go. If it sits in my drawer, I'm going to feel compelled to use it. And if I use it, I'm just going to be unhappy with it. So, and that's not why I use makeup. I use makeup for fun. Makeup is enjoyable to me. This was not enjoyable to me, so it has got to go. This is my one makeup declutter for the month of May. And that is it. Those are my empties and my declutters for the month of May, and a few declutters from April as well. Next, we will take a look at all of the things that entered my collection in the month of May. I keep saying this month wasn't great. We'll do better next month. Still waiting, Rebecca. Still waiting to do better next month. We'll get there. We'll get there. Thank you so much for spending this time with me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.